Why are we bringing dollars in the middle of our trade? Let me say this. I think it is important for the trade ministers who are here. We are all struggling to make payments for goods and services from one country to another because of differences in currencies. And in the middle of all this, we are all subjected to a dollar environment. Kenyans want to pay for Tanzanian goods in dollars. Tanzania wants to pay for DRC goods in dollars. Egypt wants to pay. Why are we bringing dollars in the middle of our trade?
Whereas in Namibia, for example, the number of Chinese people living here in the meantime is 4 times as much as, for example, the German community.
Mr. Speaker, yeah. What is your problem with that? Why does it become your problem? It looks like it's a more European problem than our problem. Yeah. You talk about Chinese. We allow Germans to come offer visas here. Red carpet. Our people are harassed in Germany. So why Chinese talk about Germans? How you are treating us there? Chinese don't treat us like that. We know what we will handle our own country. Don't be sorry for us.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Russia has the right to be anywhere they need to be legally, as any other country has the right to be anywhere, meaning those who come to Africa, you know, you hear people complain about China, then about Russia, then about, but how about them? What right do they have to be in Africa that others don't have?
I can stand up to any pressure from any corner. I make the right decisions for our country. Do you know that only 5 countries of this world hold meaningful power in the UN Security Council? None of them is African. More than half of the world's population is not represented in the UN Security Council. It is neither democratic, it is not representative, it is not transparent, it is not accountable. Africa has been arbitrarily and prejudicially profiled as risky for investment on entirely spurious grounds.
You really need to stop this superiority complex nonsense about human rights. You think you are the only ones who respect human rights, or others it's about violating human rights. No, we've fought for human rights and freedoms of our people much better and more than anyone, including you people who keep talking about this nonsense. You don't start telling the others what to do, what they should not do, or that what they are doing is not to your satisfaction. Who are you?
Every time Westerner comes, it's about Chinese. I told Chinese ambassador, yeah, I'm not your puppet. It was impressed everywhere. So please, respect us. That's all I will say.
If we don't respect ourselves, nobody is going to respect us. When we say African problems, African solutions, we must be serious about the solutions. What kind of outcome you expect where 50 heads of state are sitting? Everybody is asked to speak to 1.5 minutes. You speak for 1.5 minutes. What kind of engagement are you going to get? You're going to get nothing. The best that you get is photographs. Photographs, they normally line us up somewhere, you know, crowd of 50 heads of state. You know, and that's all we come home with. Surely, are you sincere, you know, in engaging in a crowd?
I played a key role as chair of the African Union during the COVID period. We felt like we were beggars when it came to vaccine availability, when we felt we needed access to vaccines, and the Northern Hemisphere countries had bought all the vaccines in the world, and they were hogging them. And they didn't want to release them at the time when we needed them most. And we felt like we were begging. And at times it felt like they would just be droppings from the table, that yes, we will give you that and that. And let me tell you something that generated a lot of resentment. We resented that, and it got worse when we said we want to manufacture our own vaccines. And when we went to the WTO, there was a lot of resistance. enormous resistance. And we kept saying, what is more important, life or profits by your big pharmaceutical companies? And that too, I must tell you now, generated and deepened that disappointment and resentment on our part, because we felt like life in the Northern Hemisphere is much more important than life in the global South.